I'm gonna lean back on this one. You know, I feel like kick my feet up.
Babe,
You know.
like, can I introduce before you start doing all of that? Like, he's.
Why?
Because I like doing the introduction.
Fine. She does. She does. Like, look at this. This is like a written out script. Oh, you can't see it. It's too bright. A written out script. She's like got this whole page, this other piece of paper.
This was from the previous one.
Yeah.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our channel, What Works For Us. I'm Anita, and this is my husband, Travis.
All right. So just a disclaimer. I know the last 5 minutes said live in. I jacked that up. It should have said pre-recorded in 5 minutes. Because Anita is currently TDY right now. Right now, she's TDY.
Well, not right now, but...
Babe, they're seeing this right now. So right now when they see it, you are TDY. So that's how you have to talk. You have to talk like as it's a week from now.
Okay, yes, I will not be here. So
She is not here.
So we did a pre-recorded show.
Yes.
Better?
No, because you still said I will not be.
Whatever.
You are not currently here.
Well, as usual, I would like to start off with our goals to see where we are, just to make sure that we're maintaining that accountability. And we're hitting up, the end of January? We're the last week in January?
Yep. This is the last week of January.
And...
Because it's next week.
And so far, I've been maintaining 2 of those goals. Now, mind you, I've had a lot of goals.
Yeah.
And
laundry list.
Yeah.
It was really a to-do list. It wasn't like a goal list. It was really just a to-do list.
I guess. I don't know. But I'm doing it. Oh my gosh. I apologize. I don't know why when I sit in this chair, I get so comfortable and like start feeling tired. But anyways, I apologize
maybe
for that.
You should give me a chair. I can do that in. This chair hurts my ass.
We'll have to wait on that.
Of course.
But so far, I have been maintaining 2 of my goals, and that is to go to the gym 3 times a week.
Okay.
I've been maintaining that. And I've been maintaining, or we've been maintaining, the weekly podcast with our channel.
Yes. So, and I mean, I think that really spawned our topic for today, which is long distance relationships and goal setting. I mean, I guess we could add goal setting in there, right? We had a goal to conduct a podcast every week. But innately, in our job, we're not going to be here every week.
Yeah, but we are kind of still meeting the goal, because even though it's pre-recorded.
I know we're meeting the goal, but that's what I'm talking about. You're not. She's not listening. You guys are listening. She's not. Meaning, we are holding ourselves accountable by doing or pre-recording this episode in order to meet the goal, instead of making an excuse why we couldn't do a podcast next week. Or me just having to sit here and you guys having to listen to me for 30 minutes. You don't want that. I'll tell you.
No. But we will get into our topic at hand, which is long distance relationship sucks.
Yes. Do they? I mean, long distance relationships suck if you don't know how to manage long distance relationships.
Yeah, I'll say that, because I've been in quite a few, I think, long distance relationships, and they always ended the same way.
Babe, I just yawned too.
Did I give you the yawn?
I don't know. I don't know. But if you did, it was like the longest creep up on your yawns ever.
I know. Yeah, so all of them, I guess, except for my current relationship. Because even though we're married, sometimes we are in a long distance relationship. But all the other long distance relationships that I've had has ended the same way,
right,
and that didn't work out.
So give an example of one of these. You don't gotta use their name.
No, of course not. My first long distance relationship was actually with my first boyfriend. He had moved from New York to Florida, and I would go visit him a lot. Actually.
Really? How old were you?
I was 18. I mean, he was like we were dating for a while.
Okay.
We were dating, I think, since I was 15.
So New York to Florida, huh?
Yeah.
Damn, that must have got expensive.
Flights were like $100. It was. I mean, but you know what got expensive? Hotels, because I stayed in a hotel every time I went to see him.
Why?
I know, and that should include number one that he had somebody else. I was
You,
young. I was naive. Look, don't judge me. I feel like you're judging me right now.
babe, I like. I mean, we know each other very well, but I don't think I've ever heard that piece of that story. Yeah, you know, I was going down and seeing my boo, and he said I had to stay in a hotel. I mean, like, at what number trip down did that like start like
Sinking in.
Like the Spidey sense start going off?
The Spidey sense did not go off, babe, at all. There was no Spidey sense. It was young, dumb, and in love.
How many
Sense.
times did you go see him?
A lot. Let's see. I went. I can't remember, but I had been to Florida a lot. Fort Lauderdale, anyways, because that's where he was staying. He was staying in that area.
Yeah.
So maybe like I don't know, maybe the fifth or sixth time. I don't know.
And he came to the hotel instead of you going to his house.
Yes. Babe, don't judge me. That's how it happened. Okay.
All right, fair.
Okay. I mean, but by the time that I mean, I really was in love with this guy. Like, I wanted to marry him. I wanted to have his kids. We had decided like what we would name our children and all that. And you know, I found out that he had a kid and that he had a whole nother life in Florida. But I found that out in New York because he would come to New York also and visit. Yeah.
Damn.
But even after all of that, I did still stay with him.
You really were in love, huh?
Hmm. And then and then we I end up finally like cutting ties. I think like just before I joined the army.
Mm.
Yeah, just decided that that was not a healthy relationship. As much as I had loved him or whatever, it just wasn't working out. Oh, and probably the second kid probably didn't helped in that equation as well.
He had a second kid with another person.
With the same chick.
Did she know about you?
I want to say yes. Yeah, but unsure because it's not like we like met and like had conversations or anything like that.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Babe, are you judging me? Because you're giving that look like you're totally judging me.
I'm trying to digest this all. You eventually found out that he had a chick and you were actually the side hustle.
No, I was the main hustle. Because it was our relationship first.
But you were still the hustle.
Whatever.
Baby, how was 18? So a while ago.
Yes, a long time
And
ago.
you still trying to justify? Nah, I was the one. Nah, that other chick he had 2 kids with. She wasn't the one. I was the one.
Because we were dating since I was 15.
It don't mean shit.
Okay, fine. I'm not trying to justify it. I'm just letting you know that was one of my examples of having a long distance relationship that did not work.
I'm trying to think if I got one. I guess my senior year in high school. Another high school one. I was dating a girl. We dated throughout that year. After high school had ended, she did not go to. She didn't go to college, or she didn't go to the college I went to. Don't remember those details. But I went off to college, and happenstance, that's where I met my first wife. And so throughout that year, building that relationship, my freshman year, and then going home on like winter break and stuff, and I was your guy.
So the girl that you had the relationship with, she couldn't come to your house?
No, she'd go to my house because I was doing this relationship while at school.
Okay. Okay. So how are you that guy?
But because the girl I was dating in college became my main girl, and the girl back at my hometown became my side hustle.
Oh my gosh.
Just like you.
Wait, does your wife? I'm sorry, your wife. I'm your wife. Does your ex-wife even know about this?
I don't know. Probably not. No, I don't think so.
I hope she doesn't watch this show. This episode.
I don't think she gives a shit at this point. She already fucking cut me off.
I mean, you're not like totally cut off because we still maintain a relationship with her.
Yeah.
She watches our she follows our Instagram.
Yay.
And sees all our shows. I don't know if she sees any of our YouTube shows, but
So, all right, back.
Yes, sorry.
Back
Sorry.
ahead.
We always get these little squirrel.
But so, I mean, I guess we could fast forward to ours, how we built ours thus far, how we deal, because I'm gonna tell you right now, one, being in a relationship with someone in the United States military is hard on its own.
Yeah.
Being in a relationship with someone in the United States military while you are also in the United States military is even worse.
Yeah.
I think the third level of that is you're in the United States military, your significant other is in the United States military, but you guys are not in the same branch, meaning you're not both Air Force, you're not both Marines, like one's Army and one's Navy. I think I got a sergeant in our operations center that is with a Navy spouse.
Yeah, in a different branch that doesn't work out so well.
Yeah, it's way harder.
Yes, definitely.
We're lucky enough that the Army will work with us to get us within, I think the rule is within 50 miles.
Yes, it is within 50 miles. But also
of the same duty station.
With that though, I think it helped with my branch being able to go anywhere. So with my job, I can go anywhere, whereas his job, he is limited to where he can go. So
I get to drag her around the rest of my military career.
Yeah.
Babe, we're going to Alaska.
But when we first started like dating, it was gonna be a long distance relationship. I think I remember saying that like I didn't want to do it. Like I wanted to end it.
I think right at the beginning of a relationship, I deployed.
Oh yeah. And I was like,
right at the beginning.
I was like, I'm not doing this. Nope. Long distance relationship does not work. I've already experienced it. I've experienced it more than once. It ended the same way more than once. I'm not doing this.
I don't know what I said to convince her, but I was like, I mean, I'm going on deployment. There ain't a lot of hot chicks until about month 8 or 9.
Month 8 or 9, not month 3 or 4 or 1 or 2.
All right, I'll say this, right?
Because I know with
the bell curve of chick hotness is the same bell curve in a bar, right? The longer you drink, the hotter the chick gets, right? On deployment, the longer you're on deployment, the hotter the chick gets. It's compounded by if you share a room or not. If you don't share a room, chicks can stay ugly the whole deployment because you got enough alone time. Right? But when you share a room, man, and you don't get any personal time, man, I'm going to tell you right, the testosterone increases like through the roof because you're working out twice a day, you're eating real good, you're getting all jacked. It's bad.
So you had a roommate on your deployment?
Yeah, but you come up with a schedule. Like, look, man, I need my personal time. This time window. We go.
So you could still technically cheat on deployment if you have your personal time and a roommate.
Yes, I mean that is a thing on any deployment is cheating, but either way, it's not a thing. I don't work with a lot of females to begin with. So in my job, like, I mean, I guess it's going to be increasingly more prevalent with females in the combat arms branches. But as of right now, it's like there's not a lot of females, so I don't interact with a lot of females anyway.
Yeah.
So I'd have to be actively seeking something out to do something dumb like that.
Yeah.
But either way, we got through our first deployment.
Yeah, and that kind of had me have a change of perspective on long distance relationships.
I mean, so what did we actually do during that first deployment?
We did a lot of FaceTime. Like we had a or
Don't
not
don't
Face.
stop. Don't call it FaceTime because I'm not an Apple fan.
He's totally not an Apple fan. But we did a lot of Skyping.
Yeah.
Um,
We kept in contact a lot. We called when I could.
Yeah, and like we had our methods of communicating with each other. So it was like either Skype or email or Facebook instant messages, right? And then whenever he called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So keeping that communication chain, I thought
Was very key for me.
yeah. Now I also think the other piece of a long distance relationship is that trust factor.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, it wasn't just some innate trust she gave me on that first deployment because I mean there was a window in between when we started dating and that first deployment, and I remember when we first started dating, I was going through like I would say an intermission time because I was just getting out of my first marriage. I was transitioning, going through a lot of emotional things, and I had slept with someone else.
Yes, he did.
Told her the next day though, very next day.
It was the next day you told me?
The next morning.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
I was like, hey, this is where I'm at. This is what happened. I just want to let you know. Do with the information what you will. But I'm going through a transition period in my life.
Yeah. And then I do remember asking him what did he want to do.
I don't remember what I said.
You said you wanted to move past this and see where we can go moving forward.
First of all, she called her best friend before she made a decision. Don't be like I gave her some like ultimatum. She was like all heartbroken by what I said. And like it's like, yes, babe, I love you to death. Let's work it out. She's like, I don't know. Talk to you later. I was like, oh shit. Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, I always call my best friend. My best friend, she's been there for forever.
What'd she say?
I don't recall, but it was probably to not be with you. Yeah, it was. It was along those lines. Cause I think you had said you were in a club and you were drunk, and she's like, that's BS. Drunk? No. Oh, and so he's telling you the truth. So now he gets a bye. Yeah. Yeah, she laid it on there. She was the one that she had my back. But at the end of the day, it was my decision, and I think the reason why I stayed was because he wanted to have a relationship and let us move past it. And I think coming out of a divorce myself, not recently, because I had been divorced a lot longer than you had been, and I had like with that divorce, like I had asked him, I was like, hey, let's not do this, let's not have this divorce, but he really wanted to divorce, so we ended up divorcing.
In your relationship,
right? In my previous relationship, so I asked him that because it didn't make sense if like I wanted to continue on with the relationship if he didn't want to continue on with the relationship.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Yeah. So I was like, okay. And I was like, all right, well, let's see what happens, and we were able to recover from it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then we fell in love.
Yeah. And then we got married.
But we didn't have kids. No, no, fuck no.
No, no, no. I already knew I didn't want more children.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, than what we already have. Because I have two. He has two. We have four together now. I knew that four was more than enough. And I'm not really that. I mean, I'm good with kids, but I have like zero patience, and I just couldn't see myself like going through the whole stages again. Where like like from a baby, like trying to teach him everything and getting old. That like yeah, I couldn't. I didn't want to do that again.
I just like having my stuff. I feel like kids just eat into my stuff, my money, my time,
Your money. Oh my
my
gosh.
dude. My money's mine. I work hard for that.
They're your kids too.
Yeah, they work hard for it.
Whatever, man.
All right, but we got through. So it was really those two tenets, man. Like communication and I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not a family type person proponent. I could be fine, like not being around the family, the kids for a week, 2 weeks, 6 months. I don't care. This is not that big a deal to me. Just part of the things I had to deal with growing up was just I just didn't become like a family oriented person. So
But I am.
yes,
Very family oriented.
so my communication with you is based on the fact that I like actively seek her attention. I wouldn't say attention. I actively seek her presence. I don't think I've said this before on camera, but like I enjoy being around Anita. I enjoy her presence around. Like we don't have to be interacting. Like our desks are faced opposite ways, and when I'm gaming over here on my system, like I'd have my headphones on just, but knowing she's in the room is what makes me feel good. Is part of the relationship. Like sitting down watching a movie, she'll be playing spades on her phone because she's addicted. But like it's just fine having her there. It's like sleeping next to someone. The same feeling, right? You're not actually interacting with them, but their presence makes you calm and has that certain feeling. I don't know how to explain it.
I can understand the sleeping next to someone because I know like when he's away or I'm away, like I'm away right now. That first night usually does be kind of hard for me to sleep. But I know next week it's not gonna be hard for me to sleep because I'm gonna be working pretty much from sun up to sundown. I might be getting dinner at 10 p.m. and then having to wake up really early the next morning and go to work. So as soon as my head hits the pillow, I'm like crash. But I can understand that analogy.
Yeah, but understanding you have to be able to trust your partner. I feel if there's not that base trust, like oh, what is he doing or what is she doing when I'm not there? It's like, whoa, man, this relationship's already on the fucking fritz.
Yeah.
You are already on the rocky.
And I'll admit, like, when I can get in contact with you or anything like that, or I, like, my first thought is I was like, oh, he's cheating, he's with somebody, blah, blah, blah. Like, why you didn't answer?
Right now?
No. You mean, like, now, like, in our relationship right now? No.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, like in the beginning, like because we're talking about long distance relationship.
Okay.
Whereas when you say that trust factor, like I feel like maybe on any sides of the gender, when they can't get in touch with that other person, they'll be like, well, what are you doing that you can't receive my call, that you can't talk to me right now?
So I mean, we could almost fast forward to see the differences, like to our next. I would say our next extended long-term distance relationship.
Well, we've had some. Cause
we had that first deployment.
Yeah, which was 1 year.
And then I went down to Fort Polk for a couple months for Best Ranger. That was like 2 months.
I thought it was longer than that. It was 4 months. You went in January to April.
January, February, March. Oh yeah, it was 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
I went down, and then I mean we went to our respective advanced Army schooling.
That was 6 months away.
6 months away from each other.
Mm-hmm. Then I think just before we got married, we were away also because I remember like I was gone for 6 weeks and you were gone. I don't remember where you were gone to. Because we were, I remember that year, 2015. We were like planning our
Yeah. But I
our
mean,
wedding.
at the end of the day, it sucks to be away from the person you like. Sometimes, like when I am away from the family, it's like you're just missing so much. Like the army takes the best years of your life, and I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about that. I'm just like,
Yeah,
man, I'm gonna be on deployment for the next year, and when I get back, I'm gonna be like a year older. I knew it was gonna be a year older.
kids are gonna be a year older.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you only got so much time before the doesn't work no more.
The what?
What?
Okay, I mean, but you're like 34. I think you have a little bit more time before it doesn't work anymore.
What about you?
Babe,
What?
I work. Okay? There's nothing wrong with me.
No, there is not.
So, it's always like I feel like you always go back to these age the age thing.
No,
Okay. You don't?
no. I'm just saying like that's how it feels like when you go away. There's so much you're missing, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, I missed the birthday, or I missed this, or I missed that, and you got to be okay with that. Like, good example is I went on a ski trip with Gary a couple years ago
Yeah.
over Christmas and New Year's. I wasn't with you guys for Christmas or New Year's. I wasn't with the family for Christmas or New Year's. It was my best friend.
Mm.
Ski.
Oh
That's
yeah,
when
that
we
was
went to,
that was a few years ago.
a few years ago when
Yeah.
we went to Utah.
Yeah, because the one a couple years ago you went in the beginning of December before Christmas,
Yeah.
and then you were there for Christmas and New Year's.
So I really want to hear about some of your guys' long-term relationship and some of your guys' experiences. If you want to really like just keep it confidential, you can email those stories at whatworksforus spelled out at gmail.com. Or you could just start a discussion in the comments below. I think all those would be very helpful, very beneficial to some of the people maybe struggling through some of these issues.
Yeah, but I think the key factor for us is definitely trust and communication.
Trust communication, man. And if you're in a position where you can't communicate a lot, I think that the discussion you have up front, like, hey, this is where I'm going. Here's where I expect to be able to communicate with you.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think that's gonna about like, wrap it up. We could go to our sponsors now.
Yes. So, as always, this podcast is sponsored by ourselves.
Yes,
We are
Swan.
self-sponsored. So we always work for Swan Creative Studio. This is our business. You can come and check us out. SwanCreativeStudio.com. You can definitely see some of the things that I've recently built. You can always come in here and see some of the stuff that the new stuff we are designing. Read a little bit more about us, but I think they get a lot of knowing about us on what works for us. You can see some of the services we provide: hardwood furniture refurbishment, custom epoxy countertops for your kitchen. Make the most beautiful marble countertops at a fraction of the cost. Custom epoxy bathrooms, having to deal with floors, vanities, shower stalls. You pick this. You can look up any exotic stone in this world, and I could recreate that for you. Or you can get a color palette that you like, and let me design something around that. All waterproof, all based. You can check out some of our upcoming events. We are going to the Artists Summit in Las Vegas this April, where we will be mingling with like-minded individuals that have years of experience in these fields, where we're going to be learning and growing as a profession, as a business. You come see us at the Central Texas State Fair this upcoming September. I know it's really far out for a lot of us when we're planning stuff, but it definitely is something you guys won't want to miss. We're going to be doing some live pours, some mini classes to teach you guys how it is we do what we do. And if you ever want to figure out anything more, what you guys want, or you just want to understand better on how we can better service you and create something.
Sorry, babe. I meant to stop that before I started. Sorry.
Better services for something that you guys want, or something you guys want us to build or produce for you, you can schedule a free consultation. We have a live chat that comes directly to our phones. All you got to do is type in your question here. Please help me. And it will come directly to us. Hopefully one of our phones don't beep. All right. So that is our sponsor spot. Babe?
Yep. So thank you for watching our show. If you like what you saw, make sure you hit subscribe. And right next to the subscribe button, there's a little bell, the notification bell. If you hit that, it'll let you know when we are live or when we are.
I'm not pointing at you, boo. I'm pointing at the subscribe
when we have uploaded a new video. All right. So other than that, we will see you next Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Will we? Or will we still be down at Austin?
Babe.
Oh, we will see you because we don't make excuses with our yearly goals.
Thanks for watching.